I know you're gonna dig this.
They'll throw to second for one, and now they got the man trapped in third and tagging out.
And 2nd and 2, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there today? It is Monday, July the 8th. Long weekend for some people. Had that 4th off, that 5th off, the 6th, the 7th, and had to go back to work on the 8th. Ooh, what a nice weekend. What a nice weekend. Guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of stuff to talk about today. So let's see here. Real quick before we get into everything. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing good on this one.
All right.
Looking at me, man. Stop looking at me. I'm bringing this back. We gonna fix this. We fixing this.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
can barely hear you,
Man,
Kev.
you can barely hear me.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
you are a little bit
Is
low.
this better? Is that better?
No.
Hmm.
We're gonna be dialing today. Turn my headphones up. Turn them up.
Can you hear me better now?
Not really, no.
Man, what's going on here? Let's see. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's just very low.
Okay, I don't know what's going on
He
here.
just
All
he
right,
just talking in his whisper song today. Hey,
Yeah.
little rich, let me tell you a story. Whisper in your ear, tell you a little something that you want to hear.
I'm working on 2 hours of sleep, guys, so y'all gotta bear with me. Everybody doing well. We got lots to talk about, man. We got All-Star weekend, baseball. We got back WNBA basketball. We got the Summer Olympics. We have Anthony Edwards said he's the first option on the on the USA team. We'll talk about that a little bit. Talk about the NBA draft, where your team ranked. Also, we're gonna talk about who we think is gonna tank next year for the NBA. And we really don't have a lot of football going on right now. It's really quiet for football. You know what I'm saying? Um, LeBron is in the news again with his son. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If the Dallas Mavericks would have won the championship, we probably wouldn't hear nothing from LeBron. He'd be quiet as a church mouse. But because it's Boston, he always got to outshine the Celtics for some reason or another. And he's just not letting them guys have their shine like they deserve to have their shine. So that's okay, because what goes around comes around. So real quick, in baseball, I know somebody is happy. it ain't none of us that's being seen live. It's somebody that's on it that called in. Oh, oh man. So in the American League, we got Baltimore Orioles 57-33. They won one game. They were 7-3 in the last 10. You got the New York Yankees who are struggling, 55 and 30, 55 and 37. They lost the last 13 out of 15 or something of that nature. Mo, what is going on? What is going on? What's going on? They're hanging on with a string. They lost one game, 3-7 in the last 10. The Red Sox, they're in the wild card spot, so they're 49 and 40, 7.5 games out of first place. They won one game, 6-4 last 10. Cleveland Guardians, are 56 and 32. Oh man, they won 2 games in a row. They're 5-5 last 10. Minnesota Twins are 51 and 39. They won 2 games in a row. They're 7-3 last 10. Kansas City Royals are still in the wild card, 49 and 43. In the West, man, look how this thing has changed. Look at Matthew. He looks down at me. Seattle Mariners, who are 49 and 43, lost 2 games in a row. They're 4-6 in the last 10. The Houston Astros, who we thought was out of it, are 46 and 44, 2 games out of first place. Lost 2 games, 6-4 in the last 10. Texas Rangers are in the wild card at 42 and 48. In the National League, Philadelphia Phillies are 58 and 32, lost 2 games in a row, 5-5 in the last 10. The Atlanta Braves are 49 and 39, 8 games out of first place, won 2 games in a row, 5-5 in the last 10. And let's not forget to talk about the Braves, who took 2 out of 3, if I'm not mistaken, from the Philadelphia Phillies. And like Curry says, it's not how you start the race, it's how you win the race. And if you know anything about the turtle and the hare, you know how that thing ends up. So don't count them Braves out just yet. Milwaukee Brewers are 53 and 38. They won one game. They 5-5 the last 10. St. Louis Cardinals. Look at St. Louis Cardinals, guys. 48 and 42. 4.5 games out of first place. Won 2 games in a row. They're 7-3 in the last 10. And if I'm not mistaken, they're the only team that is in second place with a negative run differential. They're a minus 33 of 48 and 42. That got to say something for them guys. 24 and 18 at home, 24 and 24 on the road. They got to say something for Pittsburgh Pirates. 43 and 47. Chicago Cubs, man. I think they're going to be sellers, guys. They're going to be sellers. Cody Bellinger, come back home. Please come back home. Come back home with a Buffalo roll. Out west, the Dodgers are 55 and 36. They lost one game, 5-5 last 10. Padres are 49 and 45, 7.5 games out of first place. They lost 2 games in a row, 64 in the last 10. The Diamondbacks are 45 and 45, won 2 games in a row, 64 in the last 10. I'm going to say this about the Dodgers. They're probably the most inconsistent team right now playing. They'll win 9-2, then lose 2-9, then come back and win 12-4, and then lose 4-12. Very inconsistent right now. I didn't realize how many guys they had on the IR, which is crazy. I mean IL, which is crazy. They're bringing up some guys, and I think they just did a trade for a pitcher. I'm not for sure what's going on with him. Let's go with Curry first. Curry, let's talk about the Atlanta Braves, what they did to the Philadelphia Phillies over the weekend, man. How impressed were you with that series with Philadelphia?
I can't say I was totally impressed, but I mean, it was one of those situations where the Braves Phillies, when they play each other, it's going to be a good series. Usually, it's not likely a team is going to sweep one or the other when you come to those two. So either one is going to win 2 out of 3. But I will say this about the National League: there's not anybody in the National League that's actually tearing it up right now. If you look at it, there's just a few teams over 500 in their last 10 games. Most everybody's either 5-5 or 6-4. So either everybody's struggling or everybody's very competitive amongst each other. So that brings it back to the Phillies and Braves. I just think that those two teams match up so well. But so no, I'm not impressed with it. I mean, I expect the Braves be doing better than what they're doing already. Because I keep saying it's not what the Village is doing, it's what the Braves are not doing, and that's just putting together a string of wins.
Okay. And on piggyback on what he said about the National League, the hottest team right now is St. Louis Cardinals. They're 7-3 in the last 10. Hottest team in the West. I mean, in the National League. Again, I'm gonna say that's Cardinals, who are 7-3 in the last 10. Mo, how can you fix something that's broke? You need a band aid. You need rubber glue. You need Flexol. What do you need to get this thing back on track for the Yankees?
First of all, health. They also need a team meeting because the first baseman that's replacing Rizzo has been good. Aaron Boone has to try some different stuff. That's what it is. Because he's got to find something that's going to wake up the lineup, something that's going to straighten up the pitching. Everybody goes through bad patches. We were so good in our first 70 games. To look so bad in our last 20 is terrible. So
Okay.
it's evening out, but we are better than what we're playing right now. We're the worst team in the league right now over the last 20 games.
Rich, you're Boston Red Sox, man. 49-40. You gave up on them early in the season, but now look like they're ready to play some baseball. What's your thoughts on them?
Kev, I ain't gonna hold you. I can't hear a word you're saying.
Wow. I'm trying to figure out what is going on.
Can you
Is it
hear
just
us? Is it
me?
just Kev?
I can hear you.
Okay, well, I
Yeah,
can
I had an
translate.
internet. I had an
He
internet
said,
problem.
how do you
Just
think
me?
about your Red Sox? Yeah, it is funny. Like you were talking fine before Rich started talking, and now you went low again. Y'all just ain't got a good connection.
So what I'll do is I'm gonna leave the stage and I'll come back.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to Sandman. Your Seattle Mariners was handling business down there, and they're only 2 games out of first place, man. What is going on with your boys?
Man, we're just ready to be ready to rest. Like we got the Padres in a 2 game series, and then we play against the Angels, and then we get a little rest. Like right now, we got Julio on a day-to-day basis, and then we're waiting on Gabe Spieler, our right pitcher, and our starting pitcher Brian Wu to come back from his 15-day IL, which it's almost up with that. But other than that, it's just the team's getting wiped out. Like people are starting to figure out how to take care of the Mariners, but I believe that we'll get to a little bit of a breathing room instead of 2 games. When we'll probably win one of two with the Padres, and then we'll win like 3 out of the 4 with the Angels. As long as the rest of the division loses their games, we should be all right.
Let me ask you guys a question. So the Dodgers are thinking about bringing back Kershaw. He's in rehab, and apparently the rehab's going pretty good. I don't know if I want to bring him back. I don't know if that would be a good idea um, to bring Kershaw back. I think his time has ran out, and I hope he make me be a liar. He be in the World Series and pitch a no hitter or something, so I can say I don't know what I'm talking about. But I seen this coming a long time ago with him. If you guys had Kershaw on your team, would you still try to pitch him, or would you just say, look, maybe you need to hang it up before you hurt yourself seriously, where you have to have another surgery? Because I think he's at that point now. I mean, he has had surgery every off season for the last 3 to 4 years, and this one has been the longest one, the longest rehab. And I don't. I think they signed him back because of him being Kershaw. There were rumors about him going to the Texas Rangers, where he's from. He's from Texas, so they thought that was a possibility, but that didn't happen. So I don't know if the Dodgers trying to make this a feel good story for Kershaw or not. But what did you guys take on Kershaw? But before we do that, Rich, how can you hear me better now? I can't hear you, Rich. Now I can't hear Rich. Mm-mm. So Mo, real quick. Okay, Rich, say something now because you was on mute. Nope, still can't hear you. Mm-mm. So while Rich trying to fix this stuff, Mo, what's your take on Kershaw?
I think you try and get him healthy, but you probably just go slowly and try and get him healthy for the playoffs. You guys are already still. You're easily gonna win your division. Hopefully, trying to jinx you. You know this. So hopefully, I would save him if you don't need him. I would pitch him at like long double a long single A or long extended spring and make sure that he's fully healthy before you bring him up. And then just
Matthew,
do the 6 man rotation.
Matthew, how would you handle the Kershaw?
If I know Kershaw is going to get injured again, like let's say when he comes back, he gets injured 10 days later on. If I knew that is going to happen, I'd be making phone calls to a few baseball teams to see if they want him. Like not a big trade, but enough to where in return we would get some cash and probably some players from the farmers market. But other than that, there's really nothing much you can really do with him at this point with all the injuries he's had in his history. And there's Dodgers fans out there that still believe that he's the top guy, but they're at that point where they're transitioning to Otani. And depending on how Otani's health is down the road, he may be in that Kershaw situation, but we just have to play it out by ear.
Okay, Curry, what's your thoughts on Kershaw?
I think the Dodgers are handling it the right way. I mean, they're being bringing him back real slow. I know they sent him down to Class A minor league and he threw 3 or 4 innings or something down there, and he had some little soreness in his arm, so they ended up shutting him down. But I think they're doing it the right way. I don't think they're rushing him back, and they know they got time. They got not like they want him for the long haul, not just to rush him back. So I would bring him back. Yes, I think they're handling it the right way.
Okay, Rich, let's see if we can get you back on. You say something. Say something. Can't hear you. All right, let's go. Let's go to boxing real quick. So this weekend, like I said, I didn't have no internet. I didn't have no internet Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Had no internet. It kept going in and going out, going in, going out. Just couldn't figure out what was going on with the internet. So I ended up having to call Verizon, and they gave me a new box, right? Because the old box, I guess, it failed. But I ended up watching boxing, and Mo, I don't know if you watched top rank boxing or not, but there was a boxing match that was on Saturday night. I can't think of the one that the guy that fought before Shakur Stevenson. Do you know who that was? Can you remember who that guy was?
Usually it's I saw like something for uh Harris or Johnson. It's not Johnson. You're talking about black skinned dude with like dreads.
Yeah, he had the
Yeah,
one dread top.
yeah, he
So
nasty.
I don't know if you I don't know if you watched it, right? But he beat the
I
snot
didn't.
out this guy. He beat the snot out of him. Eye swollen, eye bleeding, the whole 9 yards.
Keyshawn
He
Johnson,
barely touched
Keyshawn or
him.
something like that.
Yes, the other guy barely touched him. Split decision goes to the other guy. I can't think of his name. It was incredible.
He
The,
lost.
the, yes, he lost a split decision. And because he said when they called the score out 110 to 119, and they called out the other dude's name, and he looked like, what in the world's going on? So they said
Deshaun Davis.
119 to 1. Yeah, 119 to 110, Davis. And then the other guy said 119 to 110, and new heavyweight or new middleweight or lightweight, whatever champion. And the Spanish dude was like, he won. I was like, I'm sitting there watching this fight now. I watched about 4 bouts of it, and I'm telling you, he was tearing him up. His face looked like he was gotten beaten. Davis looked like he wasn't touched at all. So they're gonna be a rematch. And I think this time around he's gonna knock him out. But then I turn around and I watch Shakur Stevenson, right? There's some issues going on with him with his agent as far as him being promoted the correct way. So I know he's looking for a new agent right now. But I wasn't impressed with boxing. I haven't been impressed with boxing in a long, long time. And I think the reason why I haven't been impressed with boxing is because everybody is taking the concept um of the one boxer that he plays defense all the time. Mayweather. It's Mayweather? Money Mayweather, yes. He's more of a defensive fighter than he is a boxer. And I'm starting to see that now. With Stevenson, I saw a lot of that. And he won unanimously. I don't know how. Because to me, they just went out there and boxed. I mean, they didn't box. They just went around playing Tootsie Rolls with each other. And nobody ever got hurt. Nobody got stung. Nobody got nothing. I can't. And Curry probably remember when they had boxing on, and you saw guys getting hit, knocked down, knocked out, getting up, things of that nature. Now boxing became so more analytic than anything else, and now you don't see, you see them going for points, right? And it's pretty, but it's not boxing for real, for real. And I don't know if I can, and I don't know if I can really get into boxing again. Because De La Hoya was the last guy I kind of like really followed in boxing, and he's now a promoter. And there's some issues with him being a promoter as well. So I don't know if, unless a Mike Tyson comes back by again, I can see maybe me getting back into it. But right now, I'm not impressed with nobody. Now there may be some guys in the Olympics that may catch my eye, and I said, yo, I'm gonna follow this guy through and through and see what he does. But Mo, give me your take on boxing because I'm a little flabbergasted by what I watched on Saturday.
Deshaun won, first of all.
Say it again.
He won the bout
Oh, he definitely
because he
won.
was fighting. Yeah, no, I'm saying they gave him they said they gave him the verdict
What did
against
he
Miguel
challenged it, right?
Mariano.
So they did he challenge it?
It just says Keyshawn Davis defeats Miguel Medeno.
No, he lost the fight. He lost.
Remains unbeaten.
That's not true.
What I saw was I saw the fight at the melee.
Nah, that was I think that one was prior to that. Rich, can you hear us?
Okay.
Say something, Rich. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All
You're
right,
good.
cool.
You're good. So I'm because Mo, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find the fight here, and he lost the fight. He was like the dude was in tears. He's like I gotta get a rematch. I gotta get a rematch. Even his ring manager said I gotta get a rematch. And watching the fight, I'm telling this yo, I was just flabbergasted by this guy losing, and then going back and watch Stevenson fight again. I was like I can't do this. I'd rather watch paint dry. Man, Curry, I miss Sugar Ray. I miss Hagler. I miss Muhammad Ali. Joe Frazier. I miss all those guys who fought and got little money compared with these guys are getting now and gave it their all. I don't know, and I guess we could say that about every sport that we watch, or every sport that we watching it now. It's not the same as it was before. It's kind of watered down a little bit, but it just makes me really upset, mad, and and I'm on ESPN, but I don't see the fight nowhere on here, Mo. Um, Now they did have there was a melee with Darren Tills and somebody else, but the other fight I cannot. It doesn't show it on here.
Hey, Cam.
Yes.
Yeah, you talk about some of those boxers of old. You think about it. There was a lot of big names back then. Wherein I don't even know half who these boxers are. Man, I may find out something about them before. So back when you were talking about Muhammad Ali, you had George Foreman, uh, uh, the other guy, Joe Frazier. Yeah, it was always somebody in the wings waiting to come up in that heavyweight championship. And then with Sugar Ray Leonard, you had Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran. You had those guys that you knew their names, and there was always somebody waiting to come up that man, I can wait for that next fight right there. But now, like I say, until I hear there's a pay-per-view coming on, I don't even know who the guys are, but I'll sit there and watch it.
Exactly. Mo, go to Rolling Out, and
No,
it
I got it.
says
I got it.
O'Shea
O'Shea,
Foster.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, O'Shea Foster lost to Robson Conceição. Not Keyshawn.
Yes.
I know Keyshawn they lost. Keyshawn is going to
So
be one of the best boxers ever.
so my thing was, look at the score: 115 to 113, 112 to 116, 116 to 112. Now, Robertson, he said that Foster kept running from him, and again, this is what happens when you're scared to fight a fight. You know what I'm saying? If you get knocked down and you can get back up, now you got a reason to fight. Now you got a reason to box the way you know how to box. Stop pity patting with each other and do what you gotta do in the ring. Get in the ring and get into a boxing match. If people are paying good money to see you box, so give me a good show. And I'm not seeing it from none of these boxers anymore. And that's the part that really pisses me off because I do like boxing, but I'm not crazy about it no more. Go ahead,
Yo,
Mo.
you can't say that. You can't say that, dog. Bud puts on a show every time he gets in.
Who's that?
So does Canelo. Bud Crawford. Canelo's is a headhunter.
I'm not
I just
saying
don't like him.
okay. You name one. You just name one guy, and I
Tank.
just watched five bouts.
Tank Davis.
I just watched five fights the other
Headhunter.
night, and not one of them, not one of those fights impressed me.
Well, now Keyshawn won by unanimous decision. I heard. Keyshawn is gonna probably be the best boxer of them all. No, I'm
Keyshawn,
saying Keyshawn Davis. He won by
I think
unanimous decision.
he must. I think he was he fight earlier. I'm telling you, I don't think there was no. I'm telling you, there's nobody that impressed me to the point where I'm like, yo, I really want to watch this guy box again.
Man, you need
I'm just
to go
saying.
back and watch Keyshawn Johnson. I mean Keyshawn Davis. You need to watch a Devontae Davis, Tank Davis fight.
Was this a fight
Keep your
that
eye
was
on
Saturday?
Carmel Moulton.
Were they fighting Saturday? Was any guy you talking about fighting
Well,
Saturday?
Keyshawn fought Saturday.
Yeah, Moulton fought under the Nate Diaz bout, um, but he what second round TKO. He's a young up and comer. He only got like I think he's like 4 or 5-0, but he's coming up under Floyd. Watch out for him.
So they must have boxed earlier part of the day because I didn't see that. But the other bouts I saw, I was not impressed at all. And I ain't worried about I ain't have to worry about getting no popcorn because wasn't nothing popping. Only thing was popping was they shuffling the feet. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta realize that when you watch this pure fight, you ain't gonna see nothing. You're like Floyd. He's straight like Floyd.
Well, that's good because now when he fights again, I need you to tell me when he's fighting so I can go watch him fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see.
No, I'm saying Shakur is like Floyd. He don't want to get hit, so he don't ever get hit. You want to see Gervonta Davis. You want to see Bud
That's what
Crawford.
I'm saying.
You want to see Canelo.
Right. So when them guys come on, say, Cav, yo, they coming on tonight, and if it's pay per view, I ain't paying for it.
Dude, okay, I'll live stream ticket. I'm gonna lend you one of my Amazon sticks.
I'm just saying, I'm not paying for it, man. I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm not gonna pay for it because I never get what I want out
Hey,
of it.
Kev, I ain't paying for
So now I'm gonna say this:
Me
if
neither.
there's boxing going on, and I'm gonna sit down and watch it, and you got something that I can watch for free, then I'm down for it. As simple as that.
Nah, you ain't get my stick that I pay for. I pay for a yearly subscription to Apollo Group TV. You can do the same thing for $130 per year and get everything.
Now hold on. Now I don't even pay that for.
Everything. Me neither.
I pay zero with my apps.
Do you get to see regular TV? You
Yes,
get to see WWE pay-per-views?
yes.
Okay, see, y'all going through. I know which websites y'all going through, but I'm saying I use that for regular TV. I pay 130 for regular TV. And wait a minute. The apps that you pay for, do you pay for Netflix?
I pay for nothing.
You don't pay
Like
for
that fire.
Netflix. You don't pay for Hulu.
No, because I got the Fire Stick. I got those special apps.
Yeah, I had those apps, but they sometimes don't work well. Apollo Group works well.
But there's newer
See,
ones.
I'll still pay
that's the
130.
key.
They're paying
Rich and
$130 a
Curry.
month. I'll pay $130 for a year.
Rich and Curry.
Yeah, still probably paying $130 per month for Direct
Some of the
TV, and
some
still
of
they
the
didn't
apps
get the NFL Network.
some of the apps work and some of the apps don't work, right? So I don't want to be a person that don't might get it. Because I remember when I first had Direct TV, I was getting the card. Had a friend of mine, I was paying him $60 to do the card. Put the card in there. Thing lasts 2 weeks. I was like, yo, man, I can't get nothing. All right, bring it back. I'll do it. I was going back and forth so much during the week. I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just pay for it because I was spending too much gas to go to him to get it fixed, to put it back in my TV that it doesn't work, to take it back out there for him to try to fix it again. I said, you know what? I'm done. I'll just pay for it. But see, that's the problem with those apps. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And again, like I said before, I just want to watch it when I want to watch it. And if that means going back later on to watch it, then that's what I do sometimes.
That's why you got to go to TroyPoint.com. He'll hook you up.
He just gave us another website. Make sure y'all put these in the inbox.
There's the man who's still playing Direct TV. The cord, dog. Cut the cord.
I pay DirecTV $100 a month, and the only reason I went up because my wife wants to watch Lifeline, a Lifetime, whatever that thing is, because it's not on any app.
I get Lifetime.
Okay, all right. Like I said, put it in the chat, man.
No, I've given it to you so many times.
Yeah, but I forget, man. Man, you know how much
Think
money
about
I spend on
Rocky.
my head, bro.
Think about Rocky. Think about how much I hate Philly. Apollo. Apollo.
Lord have mercy. All right,
I
guys, let's
got
move
him. I
on.
hate Philly.
Um, the All Star game, man. I don't really care about the All Star game. Do anybody else care about the All Star game? Is anybody gonna watch the All Star game?
No, maybe the home run derby, and that's it.
Yo, the commissioner got to do something about this, man. He has to do something about it. We got four dudes sitting on the couch and one on the air, and nobody's gonna watch the All Star game. That's That's insane. That's really, and we all got. I think all of us got some players that's in the All Star game. Like, let me see here. So for the American League, you got Baltimore, Toronto, Houston, Cleveland, Baltimore, New York, Cleveland, New York, and Houston. For the National League, you got Philly, you got Milwaukee, Philly, Arizona, Philadelphia, Philadelphia, San Diego, Milwaukee, LA, and then you got the guys off to come off the bench. Um, you got a guy from Boston in there. So we got guys that on teams that we cheer for, but nobody's gonna watch this game. So we've been asking for the commissioner to do something about the Manford, whatever your name is. And then isn't he getting ready to step down or something? This is last tour, right? Yeah, he's just not generating enough pizzazz for baseball, in my opinion. Um, this is why I think the season need to be shortened down because let's be real. Only time we really watch baseball is right around September, August, late August, September time frame, and we may look at it then. Um, so we're gonna leave. Just make sure. I'm glad you guys voted. So real quick, let's see where we at here. The NBA draft. So okay, Boston got a B. Bulls got a B plus. Um, Matthew, who's your team? Basketball team.
Well, until the Supersonics come back, I'm Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota. Where they at? Did they have, they didn't have a draft pick? See them. Thunder, Knicks, Phoenix. T-Wolves. They got a guard. They got two guards from one from Kentucky, one from Illinois, and they got a B plus. They got a B. Um, so Rich, we probably getting ahead of ourselves on this, but it's looking like the Bulls are going to tank this year. You think so?
Yeah, we're absolutely going to tank. I wouldn't say we're tanking. We're just we're rebuilding. You know, it's time to tear it down and start from scratch. I think this is Vooch's last year in the Chicago uniform. Lonzo's last year. It's just time to tear it down and cut the salary and hit the draft and see what we can build.
Do you see Coach Stan, GM Stan? You see them get moved out or anything like that?
Um, I think Billy Donovan's a good coach. I think he's a good coach for this team. I just don't know um, if Carson Novas leaves, if he gets fired, then Billy he's gone. But I think we should keep both for at least the next 2 or 3 years. Let's see how this rebuild starts, and then we'll go from there. Unless Brad Stevens will get fired, you know, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. So the reason why I asked you that is because I'm looking at the 2025 draft, the draft. I don't know if you guys heard of Cooper Flag. He's supposed to be the number one draft pick coming out next year. He's going to Duke. Um, Scalabrini found this dude. He's been playing AU with him for a while. Um, I guess Scal's like his big brother or whatever right now. Um, he's going to Duke. I think that's a wrong school to go to for a big man. Well, no, I'm sorry. He's 6'8". He weighs 200 pounds. Wingspan they didn't say what it was. But it says Flag is a unique prospect, dominant defensive player who has massive impact on the game, even when
Definitely
he's
wrong
not
school for him to go to.
scoring, scoring, scoring the ball. He's a complete offensive player who can dribble, pass, shoot, but doesn't necessarily project as a first option on an elite ISO score. His outside shot still needs some work, but shows plenty of promise. He's one of the most complete prospects you'll ever see. His elite ability to go both ends of the court. NBA comparison: Scottie Pippen, Andre Karolinko is he's compared to. So, but they're saying the Pistons here on they have the Pistons on a mock draft at 5, and they got the Bulls at number 8 going for a guy by the name of Dink Pate, Pate, um, G League guy. That's what they're looking at. But um, but getting back to the draft though, Mo, let's talk about the Celtics for a minute. Um, I like the kid from Creighton. I think he's gonna fit well. They just got to find time for him. In what people say. Well, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. He's not gonna come in and demand a lot of time. But what people got to understand what Brad Stevens did. This kid's what 4 years in or 5 years in college, so he's already at that
24 years
level
old.
where yeah he's at that level where he can play now and not have to. You don't want to develop him now because you're in a win now situation. So I think he's going to be a great asset to them. Um, I think he's Sam Hauser with a dribble with a better dribble. Um, I mean better handle with the ball. The other kid they got Anthony. What's his name? Anthony. Shucks.
Anton Watson.
Anton Watson from Gonzaga. He'll probably be a 2 and D player going forward from here. So I'm liking. Go ahead.
3 and D.
Go ahead, Mo. 3 and D.
Not a 2 and
No,
D.
I'm talking about
3 and D.
two. I'm talking about he's gonna be in the D League and he'll come up and go back.
So I just mentioned, but I think he's going to be a 3 and D player.
Oh yeah. But anyway, I think both grabs for the Celtics were great. Um, I think that Atlanta they gave him an A, but me personally, I like the kid that went second in the draft. SARS. Is it SARS? I think he's gonna be a better player. I think he'll be able to adapt quicker to the NBA than the other guy. Um, and I'm gonna say this though, Zarcher, Archie, something like that. They drafted 2 guys from one from Serbia, one from France. Where is Dana when you need him? um, but I think Atlanta's in. I wouldn't be surprised if Trey Young is on the move come All Star break. Um, where do you make up for Murray when you got rid of him? Which I think was a great pickup for the team he went to. I can't think of the name who it was now. Not getting no sleep is really messing with my head right now, guys. But anyways, um, looking at the Celtics again. I think they did great. I think both guys. I looked at the film of both guys. I'm pleased with both guys. Um, I don't know. They want to bring JD Davis back. Why? I have no idea. And they still got 2 point guards overseas that haven't came over. Which I don't think if they're not coming now, they're probably never going to come. Because they're both 22, 21, 22, 22 years old. So I think that was just a draft pick to pick them, and just in case somebody wants them, now they can trade for them. Um, so I think that's where they were at with that. Mo, you got anything else before we jump on to another topic?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh man, come on, we got this. Man, I'm trying. I'm be loud when I go to sleep tonight. I'm snore everything. I got a nice little, got one of them the pillows that got the they form around your head and everything. It's nice and cool. The air is on in there, man. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be over for me,
This
man.
dude delirious, man. He thinking about a pillow.
Yeah, Murray went to New Orleans.
Okay, yeah, okay, thank you. So going to New Orleans, that's a good pick for them guys. Um, I don't know. Brandon Ingram could be moved in the process, maybe. Maybe All-Star break. I'm gonna say this. I feel sorry for Brandon Ingram. I feel sorry for all the guys that was with the Lakers that got traded for LeBron James because they got the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that just because of the Lakers, because I'm gonna say this about the Celtics when they traded for Kevin Garnett and gave him all those players. And I told people, I said they were hitting their stride. Mo, if I don't know if you remember this, but they had won like 5 or 6 games in a row with Al. Come on, give me Al. What's the center name? He went to
Al Horford.
Al. No,
Oh, you're talking about Al Jefferson.
Al Jefferson. Yes. And then all of a sudden, Paul Pierce falls out the tub and sprains his big toe, and now he got fasciitis. So that was the end of that run. But again, you gave up a lot of talent. Um, and now that as you look at the Lakers now and you look at what they have, they're not competitive. They're not going to be competitive at all. I don't care what they say. They can try to make a trade, do whatever they want to do, but it's not going to happen at all for them. They're well, we'll talk about it later on. Um, the Olympics, guys. So the Olympics is coming up, and we're looking. I'm looking at this list of how many. So in the A's, you have archery, artistic gymnastic, artistic swimming, athletes. What's athletes? Can somebody tell me what sport is that? What event is that?
All of them.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So in F, they got fencing, flag football, football. Have y'all seen? This the first year for football? I didn't know who's on the team. I want to watch football. I want to watch flag football. Then you got badminton. You got badminton, baseball. You got baseball, softball, basketball 3-on-3, beach volleyball, boxing, and breaking. Break dancing. I want to see that. I want to see break dance. I want to see how a Russian breaks down. See if he get break it down. Break, break. Okay. Nobody's breaking with me on the show. Nobody wants to break dance with me. Nobody break. So well, let's see that. Um, G, you got golf. H, you got handball and hockey. Okay, I love watching handball. I think that's a good sport to play. S, you got sailing, shooting, skateboard, sport climbing, squash, surfing, swimming. C, you got canoeing, sprint, cricket, cycle. You got all kind of cycling. K, you got karate. T, you got table tennis, taekwondo, tennis, trampoline, triathlon. L, you got lacrosse. V, you got volleyball. D, you got diving. E, you got aquatic swimming, marathon swimming for M, marathon, modern day pentathlon. Water, you got water polo, weightlifting, and wrestling. So what to me? So I'm looking for um. So what is track? Is that running? Is it a baby under running or um? I don't see track on here, guys. I don't see track.
I think it's under cycling track, maybe.
I see sailing, shooting, skateboard, sport climbing, squash, surfing, swimming. And when you click on it, it gives you a shadow of what they do. I don't see track on here. What is going on with this mess here? Am I missing something on here? I don't see track. I see cycling. I got all kind of cycling. I don't even see it. I'm looking for R. See rhythmic, gymnastic, rowing, rugby, sevens, flag football. Man, what is going on? What? Okay,
Oh, I found it. It's under its own website. I'll send it to you.
so again, what's my favorite? To me, my favorite one is track and field. I'm a long jump guy and I'm a high jump guy. I love seeing that done. The relays, of course, is my thing. Um, I like golf when they swimming with the ball. They got to throw the ball in the net. Okay, so he gave me something different here. Yes, I'm happy. Okay. Okay, so they got it broken down by events. All right, that's good. That's good. So looking at this August 1st, they got the race walk, men and women. Then August the 2nd, that's when it gets good. You got 100-meter preliminary runs, high jumping, long jumping, 1500. Did you guys see the young lady that fell in the qualifying to go to the Olympics? That was sad, man. That was really sad that she fell and she can't go. Now she got to wait another 8 years. The only good thing about it is she ain't got to worry about going nowhere because the Olympics will be in the United States in 2028. Um, only good thing I'm gonna say about that is that depending on who becomes the president is at the end of their term. Is is at the end of their term because that's gonna be scary. I never thought we would finally see the Olympics in the United States again because of all the terroristic issues we have going on. And so for us to want to hold the Olympics again, that says to the world we're not scared of you. We're going to still do what we do when it comes to the Olympics. So I'm looking here. So it's be in LA in 2028, and then it be in Brisbane in 2032. But again, guys, make sure you guys check out the Olympics. That should be a lot of fun going forward in August. And so let's get back to a little NBA. So Rich thinks that the Bulls is going to tank. Mo, who you think could see tanking? Okay, so Rich, let me do this. You said the Bulls in the East. Do you have a team out west that you think would tank?
No, not a team that I think would tank that. I don't think any team in the West has given up as much as Chicago. So no.
Okay, I got a team in mind, but I'm gonna do mine last. Mo, who you got in the East and who you got in the West that you think could see tanking going forward to get Cooper Flag?
Okay, the Wizards are definitely tanking, no
Okay.
question. I think Charlotte is probably tanking too.
Mm,
I think Portland is also tanking. And then Utah, if they trade away, what you call it, if they trade away Laurie Markkinen, they're also tanking.
Larry Marketing. Okay. Okay. Matthew, who you think? Who you got think?
Out east, I got the Miami Heat tanking. Like I got them tanking to where Pat Riley is going to be making moves before the All Star break and still a tank. And then out west, I got the LA Clippers tanking. Even though they're getting that nice new stadium, they're going to hit the rock bottom.
I don't know about the I don't know about the Clippers tanking because their owner is he's the richest owner out there. I don't think he'll stand them tanking. Um, even though they lost Paul George, I still see them as a viable, at least a playing team going forward. Curry, you wanna hop in on this? or not? Or you just gonna wait?
You saying that a team for a tank for Cooper Flag? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Well, I'm saying for Cooper Flag because he's the one that they're saying is supposed to be the next dominant big man coming out of the NBA. I mean, coming out of
Okay,
college.
that's the question. What good would it do him to tank for him? You're not guaranteed to get him, right? If you have a worse run, don't they have that lottery thing they do where who gets the first pick or so forth so on?
Right, right. They do.
So you could tank for no reason at all.
True, true. And then again, if you probably look at some of the teams that everybody's mentioning, they probably got some draft picks from other teams that they could use to maybe even get down to that one, and then 1 or 2, give up 2 first rounds to get a number one first round to build around. And there's a lot of teams out there that owes other teams draft picks. So, in my opinion, I think Mo hit on a couple of teams. Um, I think Brooklyn might be the team in the East that might tank. No, nobody said. I do think I think that uh, Utah Jazz might be a team that tanks in the West. Um, and I don't know how much money that either team has, but this new caps they have, that first apron, second apron, it's going to be really hard. After this year, you're not going to see a three teams, a three-headed monster because of the way this money is set out. So you really gonna have to dig deep. If you guys didn't read, there was an article said that the Miami Heat did not understand how the first apron and the second apron worked, and I don't feel sorry for Miami Heat because I don't like Slick Hair Willie, but that's what they get for not knowing how this thing operates. He came out, he said, I don't understand the apron thing, right? And if you guys look back at it, the reason why they brought in the two aprons is because of the money that the Golden State Warriors were spending on their star players. Um, they were basically losing money to win. Um, and you guys heard us talk about this in a couple of shows prior to this, I think it was. Um, where if Golden State if Golden State in their heyday, even if they went to 7 game series, all the series, they still would have lost money, right? And so now that this apron thing coming in, the tax on that is even heavier. And that's why I think that the owner for the Celtics has put the team up for sale. And which puts us into another topic. But before we get to it, you're looking at like the Clippers. They're Clippers are going to be in that area where they're going to spend some money over the cap because of who they have. There's going to be a bunch of teams out there. Mo, if you can pull that, can you pull it? You a Matthew? Can you pull up the go to sporttrack.com, and it should have the NBA salary cap now on there, and let you know who's where. I mean, what money's where and who has what. And the biggest issue with the Celtics was they couldn't figure out how they were going to keep all these guys together. And so far, so good because they have everybody locked up other than Sam Hauser. Um,
Yeah, for
and
next year.
and I'm gonna say this: if they don't lock Sam Hauser up, he's gonna be overpaid. Somebody's gonna overpay to get him because he's a good shooter. Now, can he be a starter on the team? He probably could. Um, to me, he's a poor man. Um, um, Sugar Ray Allen. That's what he is to me. He's a poor man, Ray Allen. But he's definitely becoming a good shooter, a great shooter. Mo, you shaking your head like
It's much bigger than Ray Allen. He plays the three. He ain't running off screens like Ray Allen was. I see him more like
nothing to say. But I'm saying I'm talking about
I
shooting
don't
wise.
even
I'm
know.
not talking about coming off the picks and stuff like that because Ray needed that. He needed the picks to come off in order to be a good shooter. But I'm just saying his accuracy is I think he's right there where Ray Allen is. Um, he could be one of those guys. Um, Anybody got any? Did you guys pull it up?
Yeah, I pulled it up.
Okay, so looking at
I got it
that.
up too.
Okay, so looking at that, let's look at Houston, Utah, Memphis, San Antonio, and Portland. Those five teams or those 16s, do they got cap room going forward, or do they are they at an apron yet?
Who are you starting with, Matthew?
You're talking about for
Which one did
2025,
you say?
2026?
Yeah, 2024, 25.
You're talking about the four teams that I talked about. All right. I'll do Portland. You start with Houston.
All right, so Houston right now,
And see,
they're
Houston spent money last year, free agent wise, to bring in the point guard from Toronto, which is a good fit. They're 41-41. They missed out the playoffs by 5 games to the Golden State Warriors, and so they're going to come up. I'm surprised they wasn't more active in free agency than they were this year. Um, by them not getting James Harden said something to the nature of what they're trying to do down there, and that was a good thing that they didn't bring him in there because this team would have he probably would have destroyed the team. But again, I think they got something to build on. So, do any of them teams have green money going forward? I know the Spurs probably do. Portland might be there. Memphis might be.
Portland doesn't have cap space until 26, 27.
Wow.
yeah, it's gonna be a while for these teams to get back on that green light.
Wow. So, so
Because right now,
so. Go ahead.
Houston right now, their cap space at all is at minus 27 mil.
Wow.
And then if you look at Portland, they're worse than Houston at minus 40 mil.
Hmm. Now,
And this team.
Utah has 27 million next year.
Okay. Okay. So again, but see now think about. But see, I'm gonna say this about Utah. I can see Utah being with Danny Ainge being out there. Traded Danny Ainge, being out there, and he's going to go and play. He's gonna come to teams like, yo, what's up? What can we do? Can we make something happen here? Can you make something happen here with these teams? And I can see that happening with them. But you know how Danny Ainge is when it comes to that cap space money. But coming that much, them drafting players, I think he gets the best. He gets the best out of the best. Does he value his players more? He probably do because I think if you look at the system that they ran, they look good at it. So when they go to another system, they think they're going to be right there, um, doing what they do when he was with Boston. They end up not being that good. Oh, what happened here? Did I do get out of
That
this?
was because Brad Stevens was a good coach. He had 41 players that year. That was crazy.
Wow.
He made who was it? Jordan Crawford? No, yeah, Jordan Crawford looked like he was a star.
And Evan Turner. Evan Turner got paid too.
Yep,
Remember that?
yep. So did the backup Powell who went to Dallas who couldn't even play anymore. He went in the
Yeah.
Rondo trade.
So we looking. So oh my goodness. So the Minnesota Timberwolves is a they a minus 159. Wow. Where is Boston at in all this mess here?
Boston's at
They're
minus 64.
64. So they're not as bad.
A
But
little bit over the
Minnesota
level,
now
just a little bit.
Minnesota is they're all in right now, right? So I get it that they feel like they can come up and do something. Phoenix got issues. Man, everybody's in the
Plus, we
negatives.
just signed Joe Ingles last week.
Detroit got 1 point. They got 1 point.
They're the only team in the green light.
Yup, they're the only team that has. Wow. And they was talking about how Boston gonna fill a roster out after this. Everybody else got to figure out the same thing because they're all in the same boat, man. They're all in the same boat. So if you go to 20, let me see. And my computer been acting ever since I got that internet. So we go to 2024, we go to 2025, 26. We go to 2025, 26, and you're still looking at Minnesota. Oh, what is going on with my computer, man? Oh my goodness. So Boston goes to 105 million. So they're right underneath Minnesota, but then you're looking at two teams that's kind of trying to compete for an NBA title. So I get it at that point in time. So again, we see how this thing's going. We're gonna see how this thing pans out for the NBA going forward. In the next coming years, it's going to be tight money. But then again, they're getting to get a new contract. Remember, guys, they're going to get a new contract deal from NBC. So next year's cap is supposed to go up to $10 million. I think it was 10. I think it said 10 to 15 more $1 million next year. So that kind of cushions some of the teams that's at that bottom, maybe. So for the Olympics, Ant-Man said that he is the first option on this team, guys. So let me just go ahead and name you these guys on this team. And tell me, is he still be your first option? Bam Adebayo, yeah. Devin Booker, I think he's a better option. Steph Curry, a better option. Anthony Davis, better option. Kevin Durant, better option. Joel Embiid, yeah. Tyson Halliburton, who I think shouldn't be on the team, not a better option. Drew Holiday, not a better option. LeBron James, fast break, that's a better option. Kawhi Leonard could be a better option. Jason Tatum. Now, listen to this. Listen to everybody that's on this team. Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. All those guys did load management this year. All these guys did load management this year. So, do you guys think that Anthony Edwards could be the first option on the team? Now he might be the most athletic player on the team. Do you guys agree with that?
That I do. He is very athletic and skilled from the performance point.
Okay.
First choice.
So out of that list of guys, do y'all guys see anybody else could be a better first option? And I'm gonna just say that I can understand why he's saying it because he's probably the youngest, other than Tyrese Halliburton. He's probably the youngest on the team, maybe. This is kind of an older team if you really look at it. So athletically, he probably is the best player. But are you guys gonna run a play with 2 seconds on the clock for Anthony Davis, or you gonna plot a shot for Steph Curry with 2 seconds on the clock? Mo, what you gonna do? Who you gonna get the ball to?
Giving it to the guy who just won the championship, Jason Tatum.
I'm not giving him the ball. Sorry. I like him.
No, I'm saying I'm giving him the ball so he can pass it to somebody else. I ain't letting him shoot. I'm having Steph Curry boxed up in the corner. But if they got to get to a last second shot, that means something went wrong because they got Embiid too.
I don't think Embiid gonna play a lot. I really don't. I think he's just on the team right now. Right now. Anybody else? Last second shot. I'm saying Steph Curry. Anybody else disagree with me on last second shot on this team?
I'm gonna say Devin Booker.
You would say Devin Booker. You got a point there because Devin Booker can kind of make he can probably well he don't have the handle that Curry has, but he has the ability to take his own make his own shot. So I can get you. I see you on that right there. I kind of agree with you on that one, Rich. I kind of agree with you on that one. Let's see.
He's a
But I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Devin Booker would actually be my first option over Anthony Edwards.
Okay. Okay. So this is what Anthony Edwards said. He said Anthony Edwards delivered a bold quote while playing on Team USA. Anthony Edwards looked like the best player on the floor at times during the NBA playoffs this year, and sounds like he expects that to be the case during the Olympic Games in Paris as well. Though he will be playing alongside some of the best players in NBA history at the Olympics, Edwards confidently told reporters on Sunday that he believes he is the top option on Team USA. I'm still the number one option. Y'all might look at it differently. I don't look at it at differently. Edwards said, I go out there and be myself, shoot my shots, play defense, and they gotta fit in to play around me. That's how I feel. And the Edwards on how he fits in to the Team USA. I'm still the number one option, he says. Edwards' teammates in Paris include LeBron, Steph, Kevin. The 22-year-old Edwards is his youngest. Yep, he's the youngest on the team. USA said, as perhaps he believes he's going to lean on more than 30 year or something. For what it's worth, Durant is battling an injury, shouldn't be there. He doubts LeBron or anyone else on Team US will be offended by Edwards' confidence after an average of career high of 25.9 points per game during the regular season. Edwards found a new gear in the playoffs. He had 3 games with 40 points or more and led the Minnesota Twins to the Western Conference Finals, where he had lost to Dallas Mavericks 4-1. Edwards is a fierce competitor who is not afraid to speak his mind, even if it's even to come back and bite him once in the postseason. Team USA will probably ride the hot hand in Paris, and that could easily be Edwards at any given time. So again, they got the greatest players on the Olympic team. Do you guys see anybody um, getting close to beating them? Do you see anybody that could get within 10 points of this team in the Olympics? Anybody at all?
Well, maybe one.
What team is that, Lou?
I'm afraid to say it, but I think Germany might be a tough match.
Germany. Okay.
I mean, they're defending FIBA Cup champions, and they beat us pretty badly in that final, at the tournament. So Germany shouldn't be taken lightly. I think it might be the most serious challenge against us.
Okay. Anybody else got anybody that has a possibility?
I'll say Canada.
Mm, okay, Canada.
Why
Anybody
not
else?
France?
Why not France? Okay.
True.
So Serbia is out. They lost to Giannis plays for France,
He plays for Greece.
Greece. So Greece knocked out Serbia. Can you? Oh man.
Yep.
So Luca plays for Serbia, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they're out of it. So he can rest his body now. So they're done. Um, my only question about our Olympic team is Kevin Durant's not 100%. We know Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Leonard is not 100%. We know that Embiid's not 100%. That's none of our teams anyway. And if you listen to Mo said he hates them all. But you gotta feel if I'm Philadelphia and we just got what we got, which I think Philadelphia has made a step forward. Um, it's a gap that was there, and the gap got a little smaller with the Celtics. The additions that they made to the team to compete with Boston. Why would he? Why would Embiid want to? Why would Philly allow Embiid to play in the Olympics? And he's not even from the United States
He is now a U.S. citizen, though.
on paper. But before that, he was.
Well, yeah.
But before that, he was France on paper. Before that, he was
Right.
Cambodian, not Cambodian. He was
Cameroon.
Cameroon on by birth. You know. So I'm just saying if 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 Tatum was up in age, like I'm not really thrilled with Drew Holiday playing. To be honest with you, they got him there for defense, and I would rather for White to go there than Drew Holiday because Drew Holiday is a little bit older than White. So I'm like, let White go, and I just let me chill, relax. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Tatum going because he's younger. But if Tatum was up in age like everybody, I'm like, nah, man, we just won a title. We trying to win again, you know, because again, your body needs to rest by playing as many games you played during the season and how at the level that you played at. So um, I don't know. I just don't think it. And I'm not hating on Embiid or anything like that, but I just don't think that he should be playing with the condition that he has. And because I'm telling you right now, if the season starts up and he complains about that knee, I'm not gonna feel sorry for him, guys. I'm gonna blast him. I'm telling you right now, I'm be on the air. I'm gonna blast him so bad that Embiid's gonna want to come and talk to me. I'm gonna blast him that hard on the air because I'm gonna say to him, why did you go play knowing that you got a bad will? You know what I'm saying? Now he over in Paris. You know the food in Paris is good, real good. And you know in Paris, you don't drink water, you drink wine. You drink wine. You don't drink no water.
Been to Paris.
In the Paris.
Huh?
When you been to Paris?
When you been to Paris?
When I've been to Paris?
Yeah.
I've never been to Paris. I've never been to Paris.
How you know about the food then, dog?
How do you know about the food then, dog?
Parlez-vous
The
français,
food real
monsieur?
good in Paris.
Parlez-vous français, monsieur?
Yeah, yep. The food the food is good in Paris. I'm telling you right now. They make the food with love every time they cook something, and they use wine. So you gonna get a little wizzy just by eating and then sipping on the wine. And you know you gotta have the bread. Now bread calories. There we go. And B gonna pick up weight again. You gonna pick up all the weight that he just lost to help that knee out. Hopefully it doesn't happen for him. Hopefully he stays healthy for the season. But again, I'm not too comfortable with him playing in the Olympics. Where we at? So let's talk about LeBron's son and LeBron. And
Yeah.
I need everybody to give me your opinion on this before I give you mine, because mine might be a little lengthy.
I hate to say it, but he's not NBA material. I mean, yeah, he got picked 55th in the draft, but he's not that great. And his debut performance in summer league was atrocious. He only made like what one basket and only 3 points. Yeah, awful.
Tell him, Lou. Tell him exactly how you feel, Lou. Tell him how you feel, Lou.
Finish you off the air.
Um, again, I'm not mad for LeBron fixing it up that his son gets an opportunity to play with his son. But man, come on, let's be real about this. This say, yeah, I went to management, told management that I want to play with my son, okay, and now we're having these interviews with Bronny, and Bronny is starting to sound like his dad, right? Um, he's becoming he becoming bipolar about the comments he's saying. Um, Larry Bird made a comment. A couple other people made comments. Now Magic. I mean, man, now LeBron don't want to follow him no more. Like they really care. Like they really care. If LeBron doesn't follow him. But there's some truth to what he said, right? So Bronny said, "All that I want to do is hear my name called." If he said to you guys, "All that I want to do is hear my name called by the Los Angeles Lakers so I can play with my dad," that would be love. Would we have been mad at him? Would we have been upset with him? Would anybody would he getting it? Would he get the heat that he's getting right now if he said that? Anybody think he got some heat?
I mean, I don't know why Bronny would be getting any heat anyway, because he didn't have any control in this. I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed. I am not disappointed the fact that for him as much as I am the situation. I mean, I just thought I thought you used the draft to get your team better. I don't think they did that by selecting Bronny.
Mhm.
And we probably wouldn't even know who Ronnie James is with that point average that he had in college. Had he not been LeBron James' son,
Exactly.
what team selects a player that only scores 4 points a game and didn't even start for his team?
Exactly. And again, I think everybody on the panel they're not upset about him getting drafted to the Lakers.
No,
But just come out and say that. Just say he says this is what he says, and this is what LeBron says. This is what LeBron does. His son says, "I just want to hear my name called." He didn't say what team. He didn't care what team. To me, that sounds like I don't care what team I go to. I just want to hear my name called. But then the second day of the draft, text message goes out. If you draft LeBron James, if you draft Bron, he's going to Australia. Bye. I got the draft rights. What do you want for him? I'd have called their bluff. I would have definitely called them. If I'm like one of the teams in the basement, I'm calling. I'm pulling. If I'm the Pelicans or if I'm like the Detroit or the Lakers. I mean not the Lakers, but if I'm one of the teams in the basement, I'm going to do it. And if you go overseas, you go overseas. Now I have you, but what do you want for him? I need something back for him now. If you really want him, it's simple as that.
I
But
wouldn't do that for the simple reason I'm not wasting a draft pick on him. I wouldn't. That's my point all along. I wouldn't. These teams that didn't draft him, they had no intentions of drafting him.
I
If they wanted him, he would have been that good. He'd have been that good. He would have went long before 55. But nobody saw the need to draft him. If these teams were drafting, trying to get their teams better, that's where I say the Lakers didn't do. They didn't improve their team anyway.
the only team that he worked out for was Phoenix Suns and the Lakers. Curry. Reason why he worked out for the Phoenix Suns because Phoenix gave Houston some draft picks back or something of that nature. They gave them some cap room to move Kevin Durant because it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out in the wars. There was a possibility of Kevin Durant leaving and going to Houston, right? Which gave them the cap room to bring LeBron James to Phoenix, right? And then Phoenix would have drafted Bronny James, and that's why. And but then when it didn't follow through, when the situation with Phoenix didn't fall in place like it wanted to with Houston, then they knew that LeBron was never going to Phoenix. He was going to stay in LA. So that's why he worked out for. That's why he only worked out for one team because of the transactions or the conversations that was going on with the Phoenix Suns. Because there was a possibility Kevin Durant was going to be moved and he was going to go to the Houston Rockets. But something happened that it didn't. Something happened or the conversation didn't go any further than where it did. That they said no, we're gonna rethink this thoughts and we're not going to do this. So that's why Phoenix kind of fell out of the pocket. But I'm just saying, if you're a team that that really don't want to use that money on LeBron, and as a second round draft pick, it's not guaranteed money anyway. So if you want to send him overseas, you're not really losing anything. And I understand you're trying to get better.
I thought they guaranteed his money.
No, they did guarantee. LA did guarantee his money, right? And then Detroit just came out with their second round draft pick, and he got more money than LeBron's son did. So LeBron did help somebody else get more money. That's what I mean. Bronny helped somebody else get more money than him. But most second rounders never guaranteed. Their money's not guaranteed. But see, again, this is where the Lakers are playing footsies or bedwarmers to LeBron James again because now basically what happened here, Curry, was LeBron took less. He took $1 million less, right? He said he took $1 million less than the cap. I mean, than the full amount, so that they could bring in another superstar. Which they talked about bringing in James Harden. Talked about um, DeRosa. They talked about Paul George, and none of them guys went to LA. None of them guys went to LA because they didn't want to deal with that nonsense that's going on out in LA, right? So now when that happens, LeBron says, "Okay, well." I'm gonna take the full max, but I'm gonna give some money back. And what I want you to do is take that money that I'm giving you back and give it to my son. So he got $7 million guaranteed money as second round draft pick. Now he got money, he got a pocket full of money. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm an organization, I can't do that. I'm not. That's not being fair to my fans. What can LeBron James do to my team if I don't draft his son? Why is LeBron James talking for his son now, saying Bronny's not worried about the critics, what they're saying? Let your son do his talking. Let your son play the game that he needs to play. This is turning into a reality show, guys. I'm telling you, this is what's gonna happen with the Lakers. And before you know it,
And see, also too, when do you ever talk about a second round draft pick?
don't. The only second round draft pick that you hear people talking about is Isaiah Thomas, who was drafted he was drafted 75th, and look what he did. He came in the NBA and became an all-star. He's one of the few that they talk about.
You didn't start talking about it until after he got good, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the only one that I can think of right now that did more than what he's supposed to do. But again, the whole thing is you guys want to change the narrative of everything. When somebody asks a question about him, you want to change the narrative. And that's the part I don't like, man, is when I ask you a question. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't know if you guys saw my post about the debate. And my question was, Biden didn't look good at all. It looked like he was sick. He started over a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But again, he has cabinet members that can help him run the country. You know, and if it's cognitive, if he's not cognitive enough to run the country, then he needs to step down, right? I don't think he's at that point yet. But I said on the post was, I said Trump never answered any of the question that was asked of him. Only thing he kept saying was how terrible how terrible President Biden was. And they talked about the inflation. And in my post, I said, whoever would have been the president now would still have to deal with the inflation because we came out of a pandemic, right? So you can't really blame that on the government because it was going to happen regardless. Because look at how much the world stopped, okay? And then you look at, like, for example, if you go to rent a house now, you got to have first month, second month, and third month rent, and you're paying at least $1,000 a month for rent. So you got to come up with $3,000, right? That's because of the pandemic. And basically what I said was, he never answered none of the questions, and that's the part I have a problem with. I just need him to answer the questions. And then somebody said something about Biden being too old. And I say, well, Trump ain't that younger than, he's not that more younger than Biden is. And then I said, and also I said, Trump was a draft dodger. I said, he cannot lead me in nothing if you didn't want to go in the military. If whatever you did not to get in the military, I got a problem with that because I went in the military. I volunteered in the military. You know what I'm saying? But he got drafted and didn't go. So whatever, for every reason, he didn't go. But that was not. But the next question was, did Biden go in the military? I'm like, what's that got to do with the question I just asked you? You know what I'm saying? They want to change the goalpost or change the goal line to fit their narrative, and that's what LeBron James does all the time. Now he's doing it with his son, and now his son is doing it. And the only thing we want them to do is answer the question that we asked them. Don't go around the mulberry bush and not answer the question. That's what we want. We just need you to answer the question. You know. And again, like you said, Curry, when have we had this conversation about somebody drafted in the second round? We haven't. But because it's LeBron's son, this is what we have. And this is going to be an ongoing situation until LeBron retires or Bronny, God forbid, he gets hurt and can't play again no more. But now he's talking about he got a bruised knee, right? And I'm saying to myself, wow, where did this come from? Because in the minutes that he played, it wasn't bad minutes. He played good basketball. He just didn't take enough shots. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I don't think nobody else on the panel saying that he can't play basketball. But again, Curry, we're saying just answer the question that we ask you. Don't don't beat around the bush and get mad and somebody asks you a question. So we're now to me, LeBron's being really sensitive about his son, but his son's a man now. He's a grown man. He got bills to pay. He puts his pants on just like his dad puts his pants on. So allow him to deal with the media. Now you can prep him. You can say, "Yo, son, this is how they gonna come at you. This, that's it. Okay, Dad, I got you." You know what I'm saying? But he don't need to speak for, and that's what we're starting to see now. And that's the problem I'm having right there because now he's trying to speak for his son. Let your son speak for himself. You know, and even like you had Shaq's son come in the NBA who had a heart attack, right? Shaq told his son, he said, "Yo, son, you're not ready. You're not in the NBA." Patrick Ewing's son went to the NBA. Son, you're not ready. Not in the NBA. Scottie Pippen's son came to the NBA. I thought he had a chance. I thought he had a really good chance of making the NBA. He's not in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So again, you gotta let them feel themselves out. But because of LeBron and Bronny's his son, he's getting a free pass to be in the NBA. And let's see how far this takes him um, when the season starts. Anybody got any comments on that right there? Any comments? No comments. Okay. So let's
You
talk
already
about some
know
football. Go ahead,
what's
Will.
going to happen with Brian Jr. if he doesn't answer questions. Like once we get in the regular season, like let's say TNT wants to do an interview with him after a bad performance, his Brian's going to tell his son, he's going to be like, "Listen, just do the Marshawn Lynch thing. I'll pay the fine for you, bud."
And he'll get a fine. He will pay the fine, and LeBron will probably pay the fine for him. All right, guys. So the NFL is possibly going to an 18-week schedule. Okay,
Probably.
and going to 18-week schedule, guys, that puts the Super Bowl out to February 28th or March 1st. And if they do that, the players are asking for 2 bye weeks. Is 18 games too much? Because we know if it's left to Jerry Jones, they'll be playing 20 weeks of football, and I think that's where it would sit for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Do you think 18 weeks is too long? Because we went from 10 to 12, went to 14, and then we've been at 16 for a hot second, and now that we're at 16, they were talking about 18. So they probably was at 10. And Curry, correct me if I'm wrong. When Jim Brown played, they only played 10 games plus the playoff games, right? So there wasn't a wild card. It was like whoever won the division, then you had the division game, then you had your championship game. And then when the Super Bowl came around, you didn't have.
So you didn't have a Super Bowl then.
Yeah, you didn't have Super Bowl, then you had championship.
No.
So when the Super Bowl came around, you had the teams that won the division, and you didn't have a wild card then, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there was a wild card. I think that came in afterwards. So you basically had well, no, I think the wild card was in play then because the divisions were differently. But
I think the Rock came from 76.
so I think they was at 14 longer than they were at any other number going forward, guys. But I'm just saying 18. That's a lot of games, man. That's a lot of games. Even though we all love football and football probably our first love, and I'm gonna say football is my second love because I love basketball. Basketball one, and then football would be probably 1A. But man, that's a lot of football from September to February when the playoff starts.
Well,
That's a lot of
it's
football,
only
man.
like a week. It's not like baseball where you play 153 games and 140 of them don't really mean much of anything. So when you compare to that, it's still like just short. So
Well,
I think 18. Well, I think it's just about the right number. I mean, anything more than that, I think is a bit much. But I think 18, I think is just about because 16 seems to be kind of short.
Lou,
Seven is our number, so I think 18 will be a perfect fit.
Lou, you got to remember that they're playing game. They're going to play games on Thursdays. Then they're going to play games on Saturdays, and then you're going to have some. You might have some double headers on Monday. So everybody will end up having some type of short week to get prepared for a game that they're coming at you 20 miles an hour. That's the part that I'm scared about is the injuries that come along in this 18-week season. Even if you do have 2 weeks off, man, I don't know. That's kind of hard for me to digest. Because if you look at it, so you look at last year, well, in 2024, the Super Bowl was between February 7th and 14th, which is Valentine's Day. Now, I think we all have ladies on the show. Everybody has a girlfriend or significant other. And if the Super Bowl's on Valentine's Day, and she makes you make a choice, ah, spend time with me or don't spend time with me.
I'm watching the
What
game.
you gonna do? Well, true. If you got a wife that likes football, you can do both. Mo, what you gonna do?
Maybe it'll start until 6. Brunch is available.
Curry, how you gonna handle this? Curry, I think Curry probably been married longer than all of us. I've been married for 26 years. Going on 20, 20 going on 27. But Curry, how?
I got to be about you. I hear what you're saying, Kev, but I don't see why it would push it out that far because do you really need 3 preseason games?
Well, the thing about
Do
it
you
is,
really need? Do you really need the Hall of Fame game? Those you scale those weeks down by eliminating 3 of them. You don't need but 1 preseason game because you got the scrimmages that you do with other teams. You know, doing training camp. So
but
that's just as good as a preseason game.
you know what?
I don't see it going into February.
I didn't even think about the preseason games because the season don't start until after the holiday, right? So I'm starting from there. But if you add the preseason games, like they got 3 preseason games right now, so that's 18 plus preseason. That's 21 games, right? That's 21 games plus you got.
Not really, because most of the stars don't even play
True,
preseason
true,
games anyway.
true. But you got the wild card, you got the division round, you got the conference round. Then you skip that week, and you got the Pro Bowl, and you got Super Bowl. So you're looking so again, if you add in the 2 bye weeks, you're looking at almost March of playing football. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I think we
I
got
mean,
Coach. Is that Coach Gray we got on the line?
Yes, sir. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Coach Gray. How's everything going?
It's okay, man. Everything's going well. Excited about the future, and hopefully I can bring some good news to you all very soon.
Yeah, I told the guys you got something nice for them, and everybody was doing. You know how you jump up in the air with kick your heels and everything. Everybody did it, but me and Curry, because the rest of us ain't that old. Me and Curry up in age, so we can't do that no more. But everybody else was like three. And I didn't get a chance to tell. I didn't get a chance to tell Lou because but I hadn't had a chance to call him because of the death of my best friend. So I didn't really tell Lou anything. But I did talk to Razoo, and I told Razoo what's going on. So yeah, we appreciate anything you do for us, man. We really do. We're looking forward to having some fun. And that.
Yeah, a lot of things are changing out there in the media and the NIL. Crazy what these corporations are willing to do right now to endorse and sponsor and so on and so forth with the former or active
all sports, but we're starting with the NFL right now, and hopefully we can get some of these professional athletes, all of you guys shows, so we're able to get some of these athletes shows, or doctors, or whatever, if these companies would endorse podcasts shows with these individuals on it, and that helps all of us out with those stuff that we've been doing. So I'm working it. Give me Coach Steve to figure out what we can do together. That formulation comes up.
All right, then that's what I'm talking about. and I didn't forget, but I was gonna tell you guys at the end of the store at the end of the show. But I'm getting the band back together, Mo. So me and Ray Bennett, we're gonna go talk to somebody in game commission about doing a show on Thursday night for high school football. Which would be something completely different than what I'm doing right now. And they got some cash money too there. But again, whatever I get, we get. Cause this ain't ain't no I in the word team. It's we. And so, I'm going to try to take care of anybody that comes along with me. That's been here for the long haul, because again, being consistent with
Enough.
what we
That
doing.
ain't enough. That ain't enough. That ain't enough.
Hey, speak of Dana, why is it every year his birthday's on a Monday? How does that happen? Can somebody, yo, I'm not gonna bring this up. I'm gonna put it in the chat room.
It's included in his T-Mobile plan.
Last year, the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. Dana said his birthday was on Monday last year. He couldn't be on the show. Now we have the leap year was this year, if I'm not mistaken, right? 129, 29 was this year, right? 29. So the birthday couldn't have been the same day as it was this year, last year. So Dana fooling with us, man. I'm telling you right now, Dana fooling with us. But anyway,
Hey
though,
man.
so
Hey man.
I have a
He
meeting.
gonna get fired
I
on
have a
his day
meeting tomorrow.
off.
Yeah, I know. I have a meeting
Let's
tomorrow
call
to
him
talk to
Craig.
the gaming commission about doing a show on Thursday nights with doing high school football. This should be really fun in my area. And again, this is something that um, if I can do it here, you guys can do it where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be something you guys do on your own and still bring in some residual income as well. So I was gonna tell you guys this at the end of the show, but since Coach Gray came on and said what he said, I just want to put that out there for you guys. Let me see. So where we at here on the? We're here. NFL.
Kev, you missed it.
Go ahead, Mo.
Cause you can't. Dynamite.
I know my. Hey, Coach Gray, how's the young man doing down there in Jacksonville?
I sent you a couple of clips. He's doing exceptionally well. Um, his dad and I, we speak all the time, but sometimes I'm not able to get to him. And he called me. He said, "Well, Urban's a little, a little. Uh, this was about 3 weeks ago. That he wasn't getting the rep that he thought he should have getting, because the squeaky wheel always gets to work."
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, "Look, you need to be patient, because all these guys are crying for the ball. They might be crying and prematurely. Come to find out, the guys crying do their ACLs out."
Ooh.
Like, yeah, unfortunately. So, like I said to him, there's a time to work and there's time to overwork or underwork. You need to be just right, and he's always been just right. Stop complaining. Stop worrying about what things that you can't control. Do your job. So right now, he's crazy. They're raving over him down there. So, he's a standout.
That's good.
He's
That's
doing
good.
exceptionally well.
That's good. And as a basketball coach, I tell my girls sometimes, they're like, Coach Dixon, why aren't the coach playing me? Even some of the guys, they're like, why the coach not playing me? and I say to them, um, I say to them just like this. I was like, okay, coach ain't playing you, right? Okay, so you need to go to the coach and say to the coach, what do I got to do to get on the football field? What I have to do to get on the basketball court? What I have to do to get on the diamond? And trust and believe me, the coach wants to win, so he's going to tell you what you have to do. Now, the thing about it is, if you do what he tells you to do, and you still don't get on, then it's a personal matter. That's when you bring your parents in and you have sit down with the parents. Okay, why you told my son or my daughter she could do that, she had to do this. She's doing that and she's not playing. What is going on? Now the coach has to come up with an answer of why he's not playing your child. And the pros is a different. It's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But again, you take opportunities when you get it, and you got to take it and you got to run with it, man. And hopefully he does well down in Jacksonville. Hopefully he gets on that 53-man roster, and do what he do. And guys,
Ken, that's a youth level, right?
yes,
Well, high school, college, and pro, we don't have to explain nothing to these fans.
exactly. And that's the
Why they're not playing.
and that's the hardest part of it all is that
Yes,
as you get to the next level, college, they ain't gotta tell you why. You're not good enough, or I don't want to talk about it. But the thing about it is when you get your opportunity to get on there,
right.
do what you gotta do. And I'm gonna tell you who if you sit down and listen to what's the running back that played for Denver Broncos, Davis. What's his last name? Davis. Um,
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis. When he first went to the Broncos, he was on the practice squad, and then he was on the kickoff team. And he said he ran down the kickoff and tackled the guy. He said he looks up and everybody else is running down the field. So the coach said, "Yo, you can run that fast?" He said, "Yeah, yo, put this dude in the backfield and let's see what happens." Everything else is history. So when you get on the field, you make a play, they see you, they like that. I got to keep this guy around because he's special. He's real special, real special.
Well, Joe Theismann used to be 10 punts. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember hearing that story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now, if you want to play, there's a spot for you to play, right? You may have to do the dog work to show that you can do, or you're willing to do what it takes to win and be a part of the team. Those players I can play all day long. I don't need to know what position you play. If you tell me you're an athlete, hey man, I got to play for you.
Keyword athlete. Coach Gray, let me ask you a question. So when it comes to contracts, right? Rich is shaking his head because he know what I'm about to say. When it comes to contracts, and you're a tight end, but they got you in the wide receiver spot, what they gonna pay you as?
They should be paying him as a wide receiver.
But no, but they're paying him as a
However,
yep.
However, and what they shouldn't have been, if the contract says tight end, it's going to be tight end. If there's not a clause to say you are going here to there, he's getting tight end money.
Micah Parsons came in as a linebacker. The guy playing defensive end, and he's blowing it up. Guess what he's gonna get paid as? A linebacker.
Linebacker.
So, Coach Gray, I'm telling all the young people out there, when they go to the NFL and they get drafted, you say to them, "I'm an athlete." So if I'm an athlete, that means I can play anywhere, right? So then that means my paycheck should be a little bit better than even if I'm a tight end and you put me at a wide receiver. I just told you I'm coming as an athlete, not a tight end. You got to pay me as a wide receiver, or you got to pay me as an athlete because I can do everything I can do.
You don't see those contracts. You don't see those type of contracts in the NFL. But with this guy Hunter out in Colorado, you might start seeing contracts like that because with Deion bringing back to the college ranks of two-way players. Well, that was Reggie Bush. Remember, Reggie Bush was all over the place at one point.
Yes.
Deion was a two-way, both sides of the ball athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to have an agent. You have to have an agent that will
will represent you as that particular player. If you do not, you will get what they say we're paying you for.
So I'm telling you guys now, anybody listen to the show and you got a son or a daughter that's playing sports and get to the professional level, I'm an athlete. I'm not a point guard. I'm not a shooting guard. I'm not a power forward. I am a athlete. Now that's a different category of paycheck because you can't put me in a box no more. If I come in as a running back and you put me in a slot, I am an athlete. I'm not a running back no more. If I'm a tight end and you put me at a wide receiver spot or you put me at an H back and I do good, I am a athlete. If you guys don't if you guys don't listen to nothing else I say, and sometimes y'all be getting my information and going on ESPN and all the other places when we be talking about stuff, if you take this to heart and if you got the right agent going there as an athlete, you gonna get paid. You gonna set the standards. You gonna set the standards. We got about 9 minutes left, guys. Real quick, Dallas Cowboys. How do you think this? How do you think the situation with Dak's going to end up? Um, Rich.
Who cares? Pay the man $60 million. Let him fail, and who cares?
But see now, see, when you're an analyst, you can't think like that. Don't act like Mo, because Mo, when I say Philadelphia, who cares?
Okay,
If they
well,
keep
as an
Le'Veon, who
analyst,
cares? As an analyst, what you think? What do you think is the best case scenario for Dak with the Cowboys?
finish out this season with the Cowboys and enter free agency, looking for a new home. I don't think that
Mo,
if they don't win the Super Bowl, it's over.
Mo.
It's got to be the NFC East round robin. Next year he goes to probably the Giants.
Ooh, heard the Giants. Remember I told you I heard Pittsburgh and the Giants was
That's a possibility. We don't want Dak. We want Russ to have a good year so we can pay Russ or Justin Fields. We got two black quarterbacks already. We don't need a third. Hopefully the two we got work out.
well, one of them not gonna be there next year.
I'm saying the Chargers.
Chargers.
You think they're gonna trade what you call it?
If Justin Herbert
Trade Herbert?
does not show up in Harbaugh's offense, Dak fits perfect.
But now what you gonna do with Herbert because Herbert just got signed. He just signed a new contract. So how you gonna get rid of him?
Oh, he's bait. I mean, once what's the kid from Detroit? What's his name?
Jared
Golf.
Goff.
Jared Goff. Once he poops the bed, then they can ship Herbert up to Detroit.
You
Matthew,
mean once he starts having sex with the coach's wife?
hey Matthew, you look like Seattle could they use Dak up in Seattle?
You know what? That's been making the headlines lately, to where the Seahawks and Cowboys have chatted with each other
Mm.
if they want to do a trade. It's some picks and a Lockett down to Dallas if the trade were to happen. And this trade could go down as early as the trading deadline.
You talking about you're not talking about the end of the season, you're talking about right now.
Yeah, we're talking about right now. And these reports came out about 2 to 3 weeks ago. And the Seattle media is just waiting on what's going to play out between Dallas and Seattle and how they do. Because if Dallas doesn't do well, Seattle doesn't have to trade that much. But if Seattle's doing bad and Dallas is doing kind of well, but not where they need to be, then Seattle has to give up a little bit more. But right now, I'm going to say the chances of it happening right now are at 25 to 35%.
Why
And to
Seattle
Mo's point,
and
he ain't going to the Giants because my boy Tommy DeVito is a developmental quarterback right now based off his agent who I got off the phone with this past weekend talking about him, and he's going to learn from all the quarterbacks. Once their contracts are up, he's going to be at number one here in about 2 years or less.
Mo, he poo poo on your Giants thing. I just put up an
I poo
article. It
poo
says
on the
why
Giants.
Seattle
I don't
could.
care about the Giants.
It says why Seattle could be in on Dak Prescott next offseason. Wow. Coach Greg, Dallas Cowboy fan, talk to me, man. What you think is going to happen with Dak?
Well, three things. I think that it's up to Dak this year. He will put up or shut up. He can control his own destiny. He just has to win it. And if he does, he has to win the Super Bowl. That's it. That will change a lot of the talk. However, if he doesn't, that scenario between Herbert and Dallas could be a great trade. Great, great idea of sending Dak um, to San Diego
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. I think that's great. I think that's doable. The third part is he has to have a damn good agent. That's it.
Exactly. Matthew. Lou. You're a Cowboy fan. What's your thoughts?
It's a make it or break it year. I mean, he's got another chance to do this, but I'm going to say if he doesn't do well this year, he is not going to be back next year for the 2025 season. So if you make a break, or he's going to be shipped off somewhere else, or maybe probably call it a career. So this season's going to be a lot to him and the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. Curry. Tua hasn't signed a contract yet. Could Dak be in Miami at some point in time? What's your thoughts?
No, 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 no. No, I don't see that being in Miami.
Okay. So what do you think is going on with Tua then? What is your reasoning for them not to give him a contract extension? I'm gonna say this before you answer the question. He was healthy. He was healthy this year, right? And that's all we talked about was if he stayed healthy, they could make a run, they could do this and do that. I was even on the Miami bandwagon at the end of the season last year. I don't know if he was on the show or not with us, but I kept saying if Miami could get the home field advantage, they had a good opportunity to go into Super Bowl, but they kind of blew it at the end, right? So I don't want the organization to tell me the reason why they're not giving Tua a contract is because of his injuries issues, because they said last year that he played healthy. He was second in passing, if I'm not mistaken, in the NFL, made the Pro Bowl. So why you think there's a hole with him getting paid?
I think he's asking probably. I don't know what his asking price is, but I'm guessing he's probably asking a little more than they want to pay because I keep hearing that we're close, but how close is close? But I just think he's asking maybe prices a little bit more than what they want to pay him.
Okay. So, I was looking up to I don't see anything about the contracts. Okay, I just saw something real quick here. Let me see what it is. This is May 11th.
Is he worth $50 million?
Tua Tagovailoa contract details officially released. I'm gonna say I think he is former Alabama. According to reports, Tua contract is a 4-year, $30 million deal, 19 million of which is guaranteed. The Dolphins have filed their contract with number 5 Tua with a 4-year, 30 30 30 30 30.28 million deal, officially with a 5th-year option. He gets a signing bonus of 19 million, and it's all guaranteed. Is I think this was oh no, this is 2020. This ain't what I wanted. This is this is wrong report. To be honest with you, Rich, I think he is worth it because he showed how good he could actually be last year if he stayed healthy. They're offensive line had did a great job of keeping him upright. What hurt them was everybody else getting hurt, especially on the defensive side of the football. So I think if you can keep everybody healthy, I think Tua has a great chance of doing something because he was second in passing last year. The problem I think is that now you have Tyreek Hill wanting more money and Tua wanting more money. And by them not signing either or at this time, it makes me think, and Curry, correct me if I'm wrong, that they don't think they're right at the door of winning the Super Bowl because if they thought they was ready to win right now, Curry, do you think they make this make do you think they give both them money right now if they felt like they had the team that they had with those two pieces locked up, that team could take them to the Super Bowl this year coming up?
Uh, do I think they could do it?
Yes.
Yes, I think they could do it. It's the key. Just like every other team, they got to stay healthy.
Okay. Okay. Mo, real quick before we let go, Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, they said that your backup quarterback is Chisel, but they ain't saying anything about how good he's playing football.
We don't play football right now. We ain't playing football right now. We talk about practice, man.
See,
We ain't
hey, Rich,
talking
see
about the
how he moves the
game.
goalposts, Rich?
We ain't
Rich, you
talking
see
about
how
the
he moves the
game.
goalposts?
We talk
You
about
see how
practice, man.
you see what I'm saying? See how he moves. See how he moves the goalposts.
That's the one thing I love about Philly. We can always talk about fake things that really don't matter. That's
See
Philly.
how look. You see how he moves the goalposts. You see that right there. You see how he moves the goalposts, guys.
Yeah, he definitely moved it.
Russ is
Yeah,
always going
man.
to be the quarterback until he gets hurt. Then Justin Fields. The thing was always to get Justin Fields in, get him to learn from Russ, get him to sign a below contract for the next 3 years next year, and let Russ go get his money in free agency. Unless Russ wins a Super Bowl, Russ has to come back. Or has a playoff run. We have a long playoff run. Russ comes back.
So if y'all win, so let me ask you a question. If y'all win one playoff game, do Russ come back?
I think it's got to be two.
Okay, two, because y'all haven't won one in a minute, right?
See who's
So,
moving the goalpost now? You ain't even got any Super Bowls. You talk about
I'm just
one
saying.
playoff win. You living off of that from 2020.
so
I'm just saying.
do you
Go
think
ahead,
that
Rich.
the Steelers can make the AFC Championship as built?
I do. About it. Think about it. We have one of the best defenses in the league. If the offensive coordinator can get something, if we could get 21 points out of the offense, we would have won 12 games last year. It's 21
True.
points.
And you think Russ is the answer? They think that Russ can get that 21.
No, the offensive line is the answer. That's what we worked on. So because remember, we were running the ball well at the end of the season. With two new offensive linemen actually opening holes, we're going to be running the ball. It ain't going to be on Russ. It's going to be play action in Russ. Russ will probably still throw like one or two touchdowns, but he's going to only do like 200 yards. He's not going to be asking 350 and four every game.
Y'all don't have
We're
the
going to be running
receiving
for
core for
150.
that.
Exactly. We're going to be running for three. We're going to be running for 150 per game.
Y'all
Curry,
got to
what
get
you thoughts?
Fryermuth involved.
True.
Hey, Curry,
A lot of that was breaking up.
Curry, Curry, what's your thoughts on Russ in Pittsburgh?
I mean, you know what I think. And I already told you guys, Pittsburgh Steelers gonna have the worst two quarterbacks in the division. Yeah, both of them coming off of teams didn't even want them. Now they gonna all of a sudden turn into a superstar. That's like trying to turn a jackass into a racehorse.
We got two starting quarterbacks that were better than our three backups last year. Everybody that we had was a backup now.
Curry, tell us how you really feel.
Man, look at
I'm just gonna say it's gonna be tough sledding with Kansas City and Houston taking the steps that they took. I mean, I don't know if the Steelers got enough, but that's just me.
And you know what though, and
That's
you
why they
got a
play the
good point there,
games.
Rich. Rich, but Rich got a good point because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with our division, Mo. we're gonna beat each other up, and that's gonna be the issue. That's gonna be the issue right there. And I don't know what the schedule. I can't remember what the schedule looked like at the end of the season. But if we don't play
When
each
did
other
the
at the
Cleveland
end of the
Browns enter
season,
the chat?
do what?
When did the
We just made the
Cleveland
playoffs
Browns
last
enter
year.
the chat?
Because we made the playoffs last year. That's how.
Okay.
And we beat you on the playoffs. That's how.
4
So
years ago.
it doesn't matter. It's more recent than y'all beating us. So I'm looking at the Browns. I'm looking at the Browns schedule right now. Okay. The problem is the last game of the season against Baltimore. They got Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh from December to the end of the season. That's going to be the key for all four of those teams in that division. So they're going to beat each other up. So somebody's not going to go. And
Oh,
I'm saying I think again there's going to be maybe one team out that division. To be honest with you, I think personally that makes the playoffs in that division. I really do. Whoever wins the division, that's it. I don't think the wild card comes out there. Um, if I look at everything, Buffalo, I say Buffalo, Miami. I'm gonna say Baltimore, Houston. The coach should be able to make it. Kansas City, and maybe the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers. Get the wild card. I just don't see the AFC.
Buffalo's gonna struggle.
Yes.
I think the Jets might come
Yeah.
out of the AFC East. I
Mm,
mean, they have the defense that is like built for the playoffs. I just don't know about the offense, but if A Rod comes out anything half decent, I got the Jets making the playoffs over Buffalo. Miami's
You
probably gonna
mean
win the division.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
Yeah. I
so
Buffalo lost so much.
looking at the Jets schedule, they play the Dolphins, the Bills, the Rams, the Jaguars, the Dolphins. So they play Dolphins twice. So they got three divisional games in the end. And I think that's where and Mo, if you think about last year in our division, we played each other earlier in the season, so we didn't have to worry about playing them again at the end. So that's why that's remember I said that's why I felt that we get all four teams in the playoffs. But now it's not like that no more. It's not. They don't have it like that. So it's gonna be yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, he hasn't. He's been in. How long he been in? What? 12, 13
17.
years? 17.
No,
What they
just
have?
since the 60s.
Since Chuck knows. Since
Super
Chuck
Bowl
knows,
era.
it's only been three.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so let me ask you a question. Do I agree with you on that right there, but I'm gonna say the same thing about Baltimore. I'm gonna say Baltimore's a well coached team too, because you look at the situation where Baltimore went through without the quarterback the year before last for the last 2 years, and they still won games with guys that came off the street. So I think a lot of it has to do with the coaching to motivate these guys to be better than what they actually are. Yes. Okay. I agree. I agree. It's just that they just haven't won a game in how long, Mo? 6 seasons, 7 seasons,
7 years.
6 seasons, Mo, 7 seasons,
7.
seven. It's been 7 out of 13.
what what saves Mike Tomlin as far as being coach as long as he has been is the fact that the owner is a very patient owner. When you look around the league, those patients don't have that same. Those owners don't have that same patience that he has. Those guys, man, you don't win in the first 3 years, man. They ready to turn. They ready to flip you, man, and get you out of there. But they stuck with him. But have they really stuck with him because he's a great coach, or because I mean, basically, in the last few years, he's been basically mediocre.
And I think last
with poor
I
talent.
think last. So let me ask you a question. If do you think he comes back if they didn't make the playoffs last year?
Yeah,
I think
he had one more year.
Okay. Well, he just got a new contract extension, correct?
Just had 3 more years.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm
Well,
looking.
I will say this in his favor. If they do let him go, he won't stay unemployed long.
No, he won't. No. And I think that, and I think they know that too, and that's why they should. And I think if he steps down, he probably goes into the front office somewhere. They give him a lucrative contract, so for him not to go somewhere else and coach. And just thinking about what you guys said about Curry, how you said how other teams have changed coaches. Buffalo changed coaches. Miami have changed coaches. New England just changed coaches. The Jets just changed coaches. Baltimore has had the same coach. Cincinnati um, changed coaches. The Browns have changed coaches. Houston has changed coaches. The Colts, Jacksonville, Tennessee just changed coach. Denver changed. Kansas City has a consistency. So, in all honesty, what you just said, Pittsburgh has been the most consistent team in just the AFC that's not had a coaching change in the last 5 to 10 years. Go to NFC. Dallas has.
Lamar Jackson stayed the coaching job.
Oh yes, yes. You look at Dallas change coaches, Giants changed, Eagles changed, Washington changed, Chicago changed, Detroit. He's been there for a minute. Green Bay changed, Minnesota has changed, Atlanta, Carolina. Everybody has changed. Um, the Rams, the Rams had he's been there going on 5 6 years now. San Francisco has been there 5 6 years. And if you put Pete Carroll in there, so you're looking at 3 teams that have had the same coach. Wow, that's great. That says something for Pete. I mean, that says something for Pittsburgh.
That says a whole lot.
That says a whole lot. If you look
They
at
don't fire
all the
coaches.
changes in the NFL. Say that again, Rich.
They don't fire coaches. Like it seems like their ownership understands the ebbs and flows of the league. Like they get it. Like you're gonna have up years, you're gonna have down years. We just want to compete, put the best team on the field, and then we'll come back next year, hit the draft, hit free agency. That's why they're cap. I mean, they stay at the top of the cap. Um,
But but you know what Pittsburgh does well? They draft well too. They draft well. That's why free agency is not a big thing to them.
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Curry. What you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that Bill Cowher, when he was there, it's fair to say that he had some dynamite teams during his time there. But it took Bill Cowher 15 years to win a Super Bowl. Not too many, not many organizations don't give you that kind of lifeline with the players that you've had. That's why I say that the Rooneys have been probably the most patient owners of all. Because most of these owners nowadays saying, "Well, I'm giving you the product, and you're not doing anything with it. Hey, I'll get somebody here that I think can."
Yeah.
I
All right,
remember
guys.
Marty
Well,
Schottenheimer going 13-3 and getting fired. What franchise was that,
that's the end
Kev?
of our show. Huh?
Okay, what franchise was that? He went 13-3 and got fired the next year.
I don't know who that was.
Okay.
Kansas City. Was he with the Kansas City Chiefs? Was he with the Kansas City Chiefs then?
No, that was the Oakland Raiders guy.
No, no, that was the Cleveland Browns.
But his quarterback got hurt, so.
They went 13-3, and they fired him the next year.
Yes. Yes, sir.
May I say one quick thing?
Yes, sir.
To all the folks listening out there.
Um, I look at this Bronny James thing where I think he's going to be out for the next game because he has some swelling in his knee, right? For
Yes, sir.
all the folks who've never been athletes, who've never did 2-a-day practices twice a day, 5 days of practice, 6 hours in the weight room, all those things. If you've never been part of that process, you need to shut up.
But
Because the man, or any man, is not a machine. Your body is going to act up. But to say, oh, wow, he's out, who gives a shit? With all due respect.
so,
This
Coach Gray.
man,
So, Coach Gray.
any athlete,
So,
yeah,
Coach Gray, I'm gonna say this before we let you go. When you start your son playing basketball at 5 years old, this is what happens because your body starts to tear
yeah,
down
this is what happens.
before it
Exactly.
builds it up.
Exactly.
This is why I tell people AAU basketball is
Exactly.
not what it's all meant to be because at the end of the day,
It's
you're
wear and tear.
playing AAU basketball. You're playing close to 4 games a day in less than 3 days, 4 days. That's way too many
Right.
games. And again, if
Right.
you're good, they're gonna find you. You ain't gotta go to AAU to play basketball to get
Absolutely.
to go to Duke,
Absolutely.
North Carolina, NC State,
Absolutely.
Georgetown. You ain't gotta go nowhere.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, man, I appreciate you. I got y'all live today. I was a little slow, but now I'm up and running. But I'm hit this bed, man. I'm telling you, right now, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Man, I want to thank you guys again for doing a great show with me. Man, it's been a rough week for me, man, and uh, losing my best friend and classmate and brother-in-law has been so tough for me right now. Um, and I know how tough it is for me, but again, I know how I can only imagine what my sister-in-law is going through. We had a conversation earlier today. Um, I hope she don't mind me sharing this, but she said she had been crying all day. And I said to her, I said, I just got finished reading his text messages because we was trying to find some rims for my Cadillac and we were talking about that. And I just it just it's hard, man, when it's unexpected and you see this person 1 minute and they're gone the next. So man, the only thing I can say to you guys is let your people that's close to you know you love them, you care about them, because tomorrow is not promised to anybody, man. And I thank God for allowing me to wake up this morning again. I thank God for allowing me to spend time with you guys on the show. And I'm letting you guys know now, if anything happened to me, y'all gotta come to my funeral, and all y'all gotta wear Boston gear.
Done. Done.
Oh man.
Boston on the front, Lakers on the
I'll
back.
take one for the team. I'll wear three things to Celtics.
Um, but anyway, guys, man,
Hey,
I
Rich, the
appreciate
way
you
he
guys.
said you could wear Red Sox stuff.
There it is.
He said Boston.
That's it.
He didn't say Celtics. He said
No,
Boston.
Red Sox. I can do Red Sox. But anyway, guys, man,
You already know how I feel about Boston.
Kurt, we're gonna have to sit down and talk about that because I hear the hatred in your voice right now, and I got and I gotta say this to you. They have the Boston Celtics, not the city, have given the opportunity for so many blacks to elevate and be hierarchy for the NBA. And this is that's one of the reasons why my dad liked them, but that's one of the reasons why I stuck around because of all the black history that they created. Um, even when they drafted Chuck Cooper, he was the first black that they ever got drafted, and he said, Mr. Brown said, I don't care if he's polka dot, but if he can play basketball, he can play basketball for me. And I had an opportunity to meet Chuck Cooper's son, and now we stay in contact with each other, and we always talk about the reasons why. But again, I know I'm preaching to the choir because you're old enough to know about the history that the Celtics have made for blacks. Now, and the city did some dirty stuff to Bill Russell. I can't stand behind that, you know. But as an organization, they did right by me, and I respect them for that. And as long as they can keep honoring Bill Russell, Chuck Cooper, guys like that, then I'll be all right. I'm gonna wear that green and yellow proudly. We win that title 19, Coach Gray. Lakers ain't gonna win that for a while. But when we get that, when we get that title, we get that 19 title, and maybe that 20 title, then we gonna be all right. We gonna be all right, guys. But listen again.
First father and son championship duo coming down the pipe, son.
Oh, Coach Gray, he ain't gonna be here for another 5 years.
Well, we're not worried about that.
All right, guys. So Coach Gray gave us some good news. Moving on, we're hoping to hear from him soon and get things rolling. And do what we do, man. Have fun. Do what we're doing. Man, we went 20 minutes over. I know Anthony gonna say, Kev, your show's only 2 hours. I'm like, man, but the last 30 minutes is the best of the show.
And we still didn't do the hot takes.
We shouldn't have didn't. So
Happy birthday, Dana.
Happy
birthday, Dana. Even though we know it ain't your real birthday.
Good night, y'all.
All right, you ready? All right, Curry, have a good night, man. Yeah, wait till Dana hear this one. Wait, I was like, Dana, your birthday. Wait a minute. Your birthday was on Monday last year. Hey, everybody. I want to thank everybody. That's the wrong one.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained